and allow yourself the gift and grace of enjoying the process. Because if you're trying to rush the process of becoming good at dance, it just doesn't work. You're going to get stressed out. You're going to be anxious. And overall, you're just not going to feel good. You're going to feel down about yourself because you're going to feel like you suck, or that you're trash, or that you will never be as good as the people that you see. Also, comparison. Do not compare yourself to other dancers. Comparison kills. What's going on, fam? Welcome to The Movement, where we discuss all things dance, life, and this profound, powerful dance through life. Whether you're a dancer, a little klutzy, or just a lot of curious, this show is all levels friendly, baby. So lace up and let's go. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have two left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's hasdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of The Movement. Y'all, I am pressed for time right now. I got to head to the gym, and then I got some lessons to teach and some classes to teach, and I got a meeting to go to. But anywho, we going to get this episode popping. So today what we're talking about is how I personally turned my love and my sincere passion for dance into a lucrative, rewarding, and constantly progressing skill and career. So this is an episode for beginner dancers, people who are new to the game, new to dancing, intermediate dancers, for advanced dancers who want to make this a career. This is for you. So I'm going to need you to tune in. And if you're live with me, please ask your questions. I'm actually going to go ahead and put that in here now for people who join in later. Ask dance. Oh, that typo was crazy. Questions. Dope. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so let's start off with my background. And this is going to be a super short episode, y'all. But it's all good. Just bear with me. So I grew up in super small town in Morganton, North Carolina. What's up, Chowder? Called Heartland. So Heartland is mad small. It's no longer on the map. It's literally only 2 stop signs long. And I didn't start off dancing. I was actually really into sports, and I actually, at the beginning, outside of sports, I wanted to be a rapper, and then I realized I wasn't good at rapping. I could rhyme, but I was a trash rapper. Then I had started watching dance films and things like that really pulled me into the dance world. I got really super passionate about it, and I needed to dance. So outside of sports, what's up, Eric? How's it going, bro? Outside of sports, I really needed to dance. Whenever I was going through things, I found that I would resort to dance. When there were things going on at home or at school or in my personal life, in my mind, I realized that I would always resort to dance. If it wasn't going out to play basketball in the yard or in the driveway, I needed to dance. As I got older, I started realizing that I was constantly practicing all of the dance scenes and the choreography from You Got Served. I still remember to this day every move in every scene, move for move. And then I got into high school. I got recruited by my first dance crew, and that's when dance became a career for me, which was when I was 14. And this was when I moved to New Jersey, actually. I was in New Jersey at the time. And I was training every single day. So from the time that school ended, I was training for hours and hours and hours. I would wake up extra early just so I could train a few hours and shower before I went to school, before I walked to school. When I didn't have school, dance all day from sun up to sundown. It was just my life. I was super passionate about it. And just to start off with how it's become a very rewarding and constantly progressing skill, it's literally about consistency. So anything you do, especially in the realm of art, it's about consistency. So if you continue to do it religiously, it doesn't matter how in depth your training is or how in depth the details of your training regimen are. If you're consistent with it, you're going to get better. With roller skating, if you're consistent, you're going to get better. With cooking, if you're consistent, you're going to get better. With dance, if you're consistent, you're going to get better. So if it's a matter of not having certain dance resources, or maybe you don't live in a city where the dance culture is really popping like that, it doesn't matter. YouTube videos. That's how I started, actually. Was whenever I got more passionate about dance, I realized like I wanted to learn more. And I learned all the dance pieces in these movies, and like they helped me out a little bit, but they ain't really helped me out. And I couldn't expand that way. So I went to YouTube. I started searching up the OGs in popping, and I started searching up tutorials on popping, on animation, on waving, on liquid, on ballet even. I was searching up dancers from all across the world, dance styles, tutorials, everything. So there's really no excuse with that. I knew that I needed to be consistent, not only for my mental health, but I knew I needed to be consistent because, well, that's the only way to get better. If I wasn't consistent, I would not be where I am today in my life, in my dance career, and in my skill with dance as an art form. So how it's become constantly progressing is through consistency. Yeah. How it's rewarding is plain and simple. It's great. It's great. It's great for mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So it helps me stay focused. It helps me regain focus. It refills my cup. It helps me therapize and get out everything that I've been holding in if I don't have anyone to talk to. And I've actually, with turning it into a career, I've been able to work with many, many, many different people with clinical depression and physical limitations, people going through physical therapy, older people, or people just wanting to get fit again. And it's rewarding because you get to see the beginning of when these individuals walk into the room nervous and unsure and full of doubt and just fearful overall. And you get to see that light shine in them, that light of hope and excitement and feeling empowered, like they can actually do something new. And that's the most rewarding part for me. That's why I teach so much, is because I realize the impact that it does make on other people's lives. And I'm here for it. I absolutely love it. So how I've turned my passion for dance into, let's start with a lucrative career. Not only is it consistency, because if I wasn't consistent, I'd probably be trash, and no one would, I wouldn't be able to add value to other people. If I can't add value, then no one's going to want what I have to offer, right? So being consistent allowed me to improve my skills and really dial in on my own personal style and what I like about teaching and my own personal teaching style. So I would get in the mirror and I would teach myself how to dance. For example, I would get in the mirror, I would do some moves, and I'd be like, okay, Melvin, how did you do that? And I would teach myself as if I were very new to dancing, hadn't danced a lick in my life. So what this does, it allows me to be able to synthesize and break down what I do on a molecular level to people who are super advanced career ready, and all the way to people who are new to dance, quote unquote, have two left feet, and don't really have the best rhythm or what have you. So really, really zoning in on my style and how to teach my style with consistency has really made it lucrative for me. And I promise it was not going after the money. The moment that I was going after the money is when the money was running away from me in dance. So I wasn't getting clients. I wasn't teaching at studios. I wasn't traveling. People weren't paying me to travel. And that's because I was chasing status, and I was chasing notoriety. I was chasing fame and money, and it just wasn't working out. And that's the thing about most art, but especially dance, is it doesn't work that way. You chase those things, and almost always you will never catch those things. It's because your purpose for dancing is it no longer is genuine, right? When your purpose for dancing switches from passion to money or fame, is when your skill level starts to die down. You're not training as much. You're doing things that you believe will please people, or crowd pleasing things. And those things get played out. They get played out, plain and simple. So maintain your passion for it. Maintain your passion for dancing, and dance because you love it, not because you're trying to get money from it, and everything else will follow. So number one rule to building a lucrative dance career, for those out there who want to make dance a career, is first consistency. Because if you're not consistent with dance is constantly evolving, and there are people who are always improving. Always improving. And age does not matter. You cannot judge a book by its cover. Because there are some little ones out there, like 7 years old, who will smack so many people in dance battles. Consistency with your training, and do it because you're passionate about it. When you're passionate about something, there's nothing that can stop you from achieving your purpose in that passion. Plain and simple. Okay. Consistency. And then number two with that would have to be, don't do it for the money. Do it because you love it. Do it for love. The money will come. Do it for money. You lose your love for it. You stop training for it, and no one's going to pay you because your skill isn't there, and you're not adding value. Plain and simple. Yeah. How this career, again, how it becomes rewarding is it puts you in places in front of people and on platforms that empower you personally, that show you that you can achieve things that maybe you weren't sure you could achieve before. It really empowers you, and it shows you it's obvious the levels that you go. So dance is one of those art forms that reminds you when you were dancing in your living room, or when I was dancing in the reflection of the window in the hallway of the apartments that I lived in New Jersey. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have two left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive languages I spoke to myself and change the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's HASdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. Versus now when I'm dancing on big stages and getting paid to travel the world and travel the country to teach at conventions and to teach at schools in different countries and South America and Asia and everything. And you have these videos, especially if you take videos. I have my old YouTube page that shows me at the level I was at and where I was dancing. And I remember the mindset that I was in and how passionate I was about it. And I wasn't caring about the money or anything. I just wanted to dance, and I could see myself progressing. And then I see the videos where I was going after the money and the fame and how my skill level retracted. Like it just took a downturn. I was actually going backwards. Then I can see the section of my dance life where I regained my passion for it, and my performances became so much more powerful, and more people were reaching out for me to put on productions and to perform and to teach. And the impacts, the comments, and the reviews that I've gotten at that point and at this point have just been so much more rewarding. So it definitely keeps you humble. Dance keeps you humble for sure, especially if you're looking to make it a career. It will keep you humble. If you're dancing just because you're passionate about it, dance will also keep you humble in that way, because it does take time. And again, it takes consistency. It takes time and consistency to become actually good and decent at dance. You can't just wake up one day and turn on some music and just be really good at dancing. It just doesn't work that way. And so if you're passionate about dance, be easy on yourself and allow yourself the gift and grace of enjoying the process. Because if you're trying to rush the process of becoming good at dance, it just doesn't work. You're going to get stressed out. You're going to be anxious, and overall, you're just not going to feel good. You're going to feel down about yourself because you're going to feel like you suck, or that you're trash, or that you will never be as good as the people that you see. Also, comparison. Do not compare yourself to other dancers. Comparison kills. Yeah, comparison kills so much. Comparison kills passion. Comparison kills purpose. Comparison kills character and personality and excitement. Comparison kills the things that you're supposed to achieve and that you're supposed to receive, because you're constantly looking at what someone else has or where someone else is in their dance journey. And this goes for life in general. When you compare where your life is to where someone else's life is, it kills your gratitude for where you are right now. And if there's one thing I learned throughout this fast that I did a couple weeks ago, was that you have to be grateful for everything that you have right now. Have to be grateful for where you're at right now, who you're with right now. Have gratitude for today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. I was always pushing forward for tomorrow and the next day and the next week and the next month and the next year and what I'm going to achieve then and what I want to have achieved by this particular time. And I realized that whenever today arrived, I wasn't looking or caring much about today because I was focused on tomorrow. And I realized my level of anxiety and stress was so ridiculously high. Like it was out of control. So I'm out of time, but I'm going to finish up real quick. If you have any dance questions, please feel free to ask those questions in this chat, and I'll answer these questions while I'm live. I got a couple more minutes, and then I got to peace out. So yes, dance is rewarding because it keeps you humble, and it also empowers you because dance loves and dance does not discriminate. And lastly, dance. So it's a constantly progressing career. Just because of consistency. It's obvious consistency is the name of the game. If you're not consistent, your skill will not go anywhere and your career will not go anywhere. You cannot give up. If you want to make dance a constantly progressing career, you have to stay consistent. You're going to get some no's. You're going to name your price, and many people out there are not going to see the value in that rate. And that's fine. Don't give up and don't lower your rate. If you've been consistent up to this point and you name your price, you name your rate, and that's what you believe your skill is worth, also make sure you are adding value that your skill is worth the rate that you're charging. Don't just give no big number if you haven't put in the work. But if everything aligns and you really do believe that your rate is worth that, do not decrease your rate. Don't do it. You have to set your own value. It's your skill. You've been putting in the time. No one knows how much time you've been putting in. No one knows how much work you've been putting in. No one knows the consistency and the hours upon hours upon hours of training that you've been doing. And no one's going to understand until you help them understand by setting the bar for yourself, setting expectations. This is my rate. You can't afford it? That's fine. But there are people who can afford it and who will afford it if that value is there and it's visible. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have two left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's hasdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Movement. I'm your host, Melvin A.C. Howell. Also, please go to my website, hasdancecamp.co, hasdancecamp.co. Look, Movement Con. This is a new dance convention that is about to be fire. I'm telling you, we have amazing national and international choreographers coming to teach, and it's next month, the weekend of November 12th and 13th. It is going to be insane. There are only 500 spots left. Only 500 spots left. So if you go to haasdancecamp.co right now, you can go ahead and sign up, and there's a $50 discount applied. That promotion will not last long. Once we get down to 250 spots, the price goes back up. So be one of those first, be one of these, the first half of that 500. Get in there. We're going to learn. We're going to dance. We're going to party. It's going to be fire. Also, I have some books on there. I have How to Become a Confident Dancer that I wrote. So I got some online courses coming. Go on there, haasdancecamp.co, H-A-S dancecamp, H-A-S dancecamp.co, and get some of that heat. You heard? That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got value from this. Please go on, leave a 5-star review. Please ask questions. Give me topics that you want to hear about, learn about, talk about. And outside of that, we out. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed week. I'll see you next Wednesday on The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It is about what the move meant. Let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It's about what the move meant. If you like this episode, please do me a huge favor by leaving me a 5-star review. And if you're not already, please go ahead, subscribe to the show, and share it with a friend, because I'm providing this valuable perspective so that you can level up as an aspiring dancer. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next Wednesday on The Movement.